So this black stuff. I'm just throwing this black stuff out there because in a later video it's gonna be important. So, um, so all these bad things are coming around so much I couldn't. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll have to get you some protection." Chris is Jesus I'm talking to. He goes, and he doesn't look like Jesus. He looks like a guy, a big guy. That's really smart. Just a guy. He doesn't look like anything like a Jesus off the Bible. And he goes, basically, he goes, "I'm a Christ within Christ consciousness, but I don't look like Jesus." I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's all good. And I thought it was like, I didn't know what to think, but I'm learning this as I go, right? So, and I noticed that he was talking, or the Christ I was talking to, working with me, was connected to another guy. So this Jesus I'm working with was connected to another guy higher up, closer to heaven, I guess. And I noticed that. And this Jesus that was talking to me was like an avatar of that guy, working with the people like me down here. Okay? And I noticed that. And that's what that was. That's what it was. So the real spirit that was the Christ consciousness, was up higher on another level, sitting down his avatar working with me. Okay? So anyway, he decides he's got to get me some protection because he can't deal with all his other people. It's just too much. So he decides he's going to get help me with some protection. So he comes back one day and he's talking to me. He goes, "I got you some protection. This is General so-and-so, a general. And he's a Christian. And these are his soldiers. So they're like 15 guys, 15 soldiers. And he works with this general, and they patrol and get the baddies when they come around us down here on this lower astral. Okay, these soldier guys, and these soldier guys, they're all dressed different time periods, and they all have swords. They don't have guns. I think they have guns, but it's like something not. I don't remember too much guns, but I remember the swords. They use swords a lot, like all different kinds of swords and knives and stuff like that. And these guys, they were soldiers, man. They just acted like soldiers. And so I ended up talking to 2 or 3 of them, and learned what they do and how they do it and everything. And these soldiers, and the general was out in an office. It reminded me of a construction site, and he was in a trailer, and he was always sitting in there. He'd never come out. He'd just sit in there. And the soldiers would basically like do perimeters and kill the little black things, or anybody's in trouble, they go help. And people like me, people on the earth in the body, other Christians, they were helped. So they did all the grunt work, keeping evil at bay. Anything came around, they would smoke it and kill it. Literally, and they had ways of doing it. So anyway, a lot of talking with these guys, and I didn't know. No one told me. Even this Christ doesn't know I'm not supposed to talk. He never told me not to talk. All he was doing was protecting me. Okay? So he don't know. He don't know. This Christ, the avatar Christ that I'm working with, plus I guess the Christ up there, just don't fucking know how to heal me. So So I spent months with these soldiers. Not with them, but they were always over there. And they got so loud, right? They got so loud. And you got to be with them like a gang. And you got to give them respect all the time. Because as soon as you don't, they fucking turn on you. Well, they don't actually turn on you and kill you. But they start doing rotten things to you. Like, to smarten you up. It's sort of like initiation in a hockey or soccer or football. You know how they do rotten things to you? In the military stuff. Anyway. I'm like, guys, you gotta be quiet. I'm trying to go to bed here. And they don't get it. They just want to kill shit. Right? I'm like, dude, I'm healing. Dude, you guys gotta be quiet. And they're like way far away around a campfire. All bitching, swearing, looking for things to kill. And I can hear them screaming, rah, 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 rah. It's like a bunch of Klingons. That's what they were like, a bunch of Klingons. I'm like, shut up! You guys gotta fucking shut up! And the more I tell them, I'd ask them nicely. I ask them, please be quiet. I'm like, I don't know, I'm fucking lost, man. I don't know. But you gotta be quiet. Eventually, I got to the point where I'm losing my fucking shit. And I turned on him. I said, shut the fuck up. God damn, you're fucking killing me. I told the general. I went to the general. I said, General, you got to do something. And he's like, I don't know. And it's like, he was like a bureaucrat or something, right? The general. He was more interested in the red tape. Whatever that was. It's like he had other things to do on his mind. He's figuring out other stuff. He couldn't really help me out. So he moved them farther and farther and farther away. But it didn't fucking matter how far away. I could hear everything they're saying. And this is over like weeks, months. And then finally, also in that time period, there is... they showed me how to kill these. They're not killing. They always kill these little black things that were running around, right? But not always. They wouldn't get up out of their chair if I said, "Hey, there's one of them black things." They wouldn't care, like a little one. And I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know how much of this was fantasy in my own head when I'm creating this. But these guys are real. These guys are real. I know that. So I devised this machine to suck up those black stuff because it was nasty, right? I devised a machine, and it was basically, it looked like a super powered leaf blower, like a leaf blower, but it sucked, and it sucked up all the black, and right up into the light. Now what I did was, I had the energy in my head. And so when I aligned myself, when I aligned my head to my soul, to heaven, the energy would just come out of my head like that and get sucked up into heaven, right? And that's a normal process. Everybody's got one, you too. You just don't know it yet. You haven't aligned it. But if you look through your spirit, you can see the alignment and you can feel all the energy just go suck right off you. You already know. Some people know, some people don't. Anyway, that's what I've been doing all the time. So why is that? You know what? I'm going to do this for a machine. And you can create anything. So I created this fucking super machine that sucked up the blackness right up into heaven. And when it goes into heaven, or lower heaven, it neutralizes the energy and it falls down as ash. It falls down as ash eventually. It neutralizes it. So whatever this black goop shit is that's all over the lower, out in the street and everything, these little black things were running like rats were running in and out of, it would suck it up. So I went out there with a fucking mission because I had nothing to do. I'm here in the spirit world. And I might as well suck up this black stuff. Right? So I created this machine. I took the sucker from heaven that was not in me, a different one, and I took it and I just imagined a sucker coming into the machine. and you turn it on, you line it up, and it sucks up the black energy. It's like a vacuum, but it sucks up the black stuff. Or it sucks energy out of the walls. And you turn the nozzle for hard, thick energy tighter, it sucks it out even more. So you can suck it out of the walls, you can suck up spirits, you can suck skins off of monsters with my machine, right? And whatever I needed it to do, I just imagined it and adapted it and then made it. Because you can create anything in the spirit world, right? So I created a bunch of cool shit. Why not? So I was out there sucking this black energy away with my leaf blower sucker upper. And I took the thing, I lined it to heaven, and I just started sucking the black stuff for like days and weeks, right? Every time I went to bed or every time I was going to sleep. Instead of getting wrapped up in the drama, I would just suck up this stuff on the street, and another spirit came. So what are you doing? I go, I created this thing. And I go, this is what you can do with it. And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, well, I need one of those, man. I'm sick of this. I'm fucking sick of it. And he goes, can I use that? I'm like, yeah, here, you take it, I'll make another one. And he goes, oh fuck, and he was like totally tripping out. It was like this guy was so happy. So he was just a random guy on the street, a random dead guy. And so now he's running around sucking up all the stuff. And I made myself another one. And I'm sucking up all the stuff, right? I'm sucking up the stuff, the black stuff. Like outside my house. All this black gooey shit. It's like the black oil in the movies, you know. I don't know. It was just happening. Anyway, the more I sucked, the more these bigger black nasties came up. To where they just consume you, they jump on you, and it stick to you, right? So, and then the soldiers would come and take it off, or I would suck it up with the thing. But I knew, I started seeing that there was more reaction of these little black gooey monsters. Look like giant blobs of rat. It's like a giant blobby rat. They were getting bigger and nastier, and they were coming to check out what was making the disturbance in the black goo, right? And it was like I was taking away their imagine the black rat thing. It was like a fish. I'm taking away the water, and they're getting pissed off, these black nasties. These black goose nasty rat things. So I'm doing this at the same time the soldiers are there. The soldiers don't care what I'm doing. Not really. They just want to fight something. And so anyway, I'm sucking up this black stuff constantly, like hours. And I got other people doing it now. Well, fuck. One night, I'm laying there, and I wasn't sucking. I was just laying there. And all of a sudden I heard a big ass growl. And I wasn't even thinking, I was thinking about something else. I heard a big, right? And I'm like, what the hell was that? I think I'm losing my fucking mind, right? And I ain't looking, I ain't seeing nothing. I don't want to look. I'm trying not to look because I don't want to get wrapped up in it. And all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 like Godzilla walking. And I'm wide awake. I can hear it coming. It was outside my window. It was like real life, exactly like real life. And I'm wide awake, and I'm like laying in my bed, and I'm like, oh fuck, what's going on? And all of a sudden the soldiers went fucking nuts. They're like, raw. And they're running. And so I hooked up to the soldiers to watch, and I could see over there, like a couple blocks away, this black, huge ass black monster. It was like the size of a bus. And it came out and it was headed right towards me, right? With a bunch of little black ones. And little black ratties plus the big ass one. The soldiers went and attacked the big one with the swords, and they killed it and neutralized it. Okay, then they neutralized it. They killed it. So I don't know what they do. They chop it, and then eventually it loses its integrity or something, and I don't know. But they ended up killing it. They're jumping on it, they're cutting it, stabbing it. And I guess these are like holy swords. So when the sword hits it, it neutralizes the energy, right? That's what these soldiers are doing. So it neutralizes the entity, whatever this thing is, this black goo thing is. That's what their explanation was to me. And so these black, and I was freaking out because it was real, like real. I thought it was damn near physical. I couldn't interpret it in my head. I'm like, this is fucking real. I go, goddamn right it's real. And I'm thinking, well, I'm in my body laying here awake in bed. How can it be real? And I'm talking to the fucking soldier, right? I'm like, wow. It was incredible. It was incredible. Anyway, they kill that one. And he goes, and I'm going, well, is there more of these things? And he goes, they're endless. He goes, that's why he goes, I think they're coming out of the black goo because you're sucking up their stuff. And I'm like, ooh. He goes, maybe you should stop doing that. Right? And I'm like, well, I gave some to the other guys, right? These machines, and they're sucking up black goo. And he's like, oh, god damn it. And so he's, god damn it, kid, don't you know what the fuck you're doing? Don't you know what the fuck's going on? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't like it laying around my fucking property, right? I don't want this shit fucking gooping on. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And he's swearing like a crazy man. Anyway, he's swearing like a soldier, right? And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know. And so, anyway, for the next few weeks, we found the guys that took their suckers away. He said, you can't do this, the monsters are coming out. And these fucking monsters would come out all the time, and the fucking soldiers would have to go kill them and neutralize them. And it was not really much of a battle. I mean, not really anything. Sometimes there was one big one that would come out. Sometimes there was like 20. And they didn't do anything. All they did was scare people, right? All the people that were in their houses and stuff, other spirits, would take off when these big black things came around. Or the people would just be quiet in their house until it left. But the soldiers were out there, like Klingons fighting, clang, 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 chopping them up and fucking fighting. That was pretty cool. So, and these black things didn't have skins. They were a total different type of entity, whatever it was. And to me, it was just like a quasi-consciousness goo ball, right, that lived in the goo. I don't know. I tried ripping the skin off it, but there wasn't. And he goes, this is a different thing. Even Christ tried to tell me what it was. And it was like a different thing. And I'm like, I don't know. Right? It didn't have a skin. It was more like it was like an oil, like a thick oil. And I was sucking it up and putting it into heaven. Well, whatever lived in this thick oil, this quasi-type thick oil, would come out and attack whoever was sucking it up. So if you would like mess with the oil, it would go, what are you doing over there? And these things would come. Well, I've sucked up fucking 100 million gallons of it into heaven, neutralizing it. And probably there was a better way of doing it, but I don't know all the rules, right? I don't know, I'm just learning this shit. There's probably a better way of doing it. And, oh man. But I go, is there worse than this? And he goes, you wouldn't even believe it. This is nothing. These big giant things, they're just there to scare you, to keep you away, or to create more fear and more black goo. Right? The black goo. So that's what he told me, the soldier. He goes, well, these things scare the population. The fear, the garbage from the spirits, the garbage from you guys in the physical turns into black goo, and this is where these things live. And I'm like, oh, well, how does that happen? He goes, I don't know. He goes, ask Jesus. I'm just here to kill him. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so I asked Jesus, and I don't know, it was so much I can't remember what was said, but I remember doing it. It was awesome. It was sick. Totally cool. But then the soldiers would drive me nuts because they're bored. They got nothing to do. When there's nothing to do, they just drive me nuts, and I'm like, okay, I can't. Finally, the soldiers were yelling at me so bad. Like, this is weeks later. I got fed up with it. I can't take it anymore. And I'm pushing energy out constantly, right? I'm just releasing energy, but I'm still talking to spirit, like, constantly. And it's been a year, at least a year or more. And I don't know what happened next. Yeah, and that I have to think about what happens next in this. Because, yeah, I think another Jesus comes. And he starts. It wasn't this Jesus. This Jesus, I barely ever saw him. He gave me the soldiers and then that Jesus left. It's like he had more interesting things to do than worry about me. And the general had more interesting things to do than worry about me. I don't know what the other things they were doing. I wasn't going to ask. But it didn't feel too good, whatever they were doing. The soldiers just ran around, killed things, protected me from all the demons and shit. I wasn't being healed at all. No one even knew I was sick. I was just there. Here I am. And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, hey, this ain't doing me no good. After 3 weeks of fighting demons and watching the soldiers run around, I'm like, I'm not getting healed at all. Right? At all, man. And meanwhile, I got the 2 kids and my wife. Other spirits coming around. Nice ones. Stuff like that. And we just sit around and talk all day, all night. But I was totally wrapped up there, man. And I couldn't get out of it. So I got to thinking, I gotta get me a better scientist. I want like a doctor, scientist doctor, to come down, find out what's wrong with me, and fix me. And that's what I kept telling my wife, and she's like, on and on and on. So I'm just gonna wrap this up because I'm getting close to the end of this Jesus, and another one comes eventually. I don't know how. I have to think about it a little bit, but remember, I'm telling you from a place of objectivity. Okay, I own this. This was real. This was I was perceiving all this 100%. But now I have to look at it objectively and just tell you. Because I don't want to get, maybe it's fear. I don't want to get, not fear. I don't want to go there again. I don't want to. Because when I talk about it, I ordered it up and it's coming back at me right now as I'm talking to you. So I have to talk to you objectively about it. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. And I'm actually right now shifting away from this back into with Christ's grace. So I don't even want to go through it. Just by me talking about it, I'm going back to that time and place, and it's starting to come back. I feel it, and I don't want to go there. Holy shit! I've been through so much from this to this point, from that to this, to where I am now. So I don't want to go there, and I just want to keep my brain straight. I don't want to go there. I want to keep my brain straight, keep on course with what I'm doing to heal myself. So, the voices are pretty much gone. I don't see the spirit world anymore. It's really nice. I'm getting back to normal. But I didn't know at the time how I got here in this fucking loony bin world. Just the spirit world, the lower astral. I'm seeing it, I'm perceiving it. And it was all because that one spirit, I was talking on that damn microphone. Doing EVP stuff like they do on Ghost Adventures. But I was doing it with earphones. And I was hearing the voices in real time. I trained myself for like a week with the EVP recorder, the Sony recorder, with earphones. I'm talking to the spirits all the time. I'm hearing it. The answer's back in the EVP, and I'm hearing it in my head. Well, pretty soon I didn't need the fucking Sony recorder anymore. I just started talking. Then the spirit went through me, broke all my skins, and I was open to the spirit world. Now I can see, feel, hear, create, play, see everything. And once that came, I didn't know how to get back to yesterday, which was literally yesterday. 1 minute, you're normal, doing the EVP ghost adventure stuff. The next morning, you're seeing spirits talking to them, wrapped up in the drama, and there's no way out. You just don't turn it off. You can't turn it off. All because I broke my spirit skins. So when I tell you, don't talk to spirits, don't talk to the fucking spirits. You leave the spirits in the spirit world. Fuck it. You don't need this. And this is just my case. Alright? So attachments and all that, demons attached, yeah, it's all real. But you need Christ in your life, Christ consciousness in your body, to get rid of all these links that are in you. And wait till I tell you about the links, and it's coming up later. You're not gonna fucking believe what I'm gonna tell you. You're not gonna believe what I gotta tell you. What goes on in the spiritual world, you are not gonna believe. So anyway, this, I gotta think about what happened next.